It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now listen, you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV, right? Time and energy is the highest forms of currency, my G. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency at all times. You know, got you out there chasing the bag, chasing that money, chasing that moolah, getting to that guap, getting to that paper. You know that moolah, them big bags. But keep in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy is the highest form of currency at all times, my G. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now, listen, man, you already see the thumbnail. You already see the title to this live stream. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot of people in the DM suggesting that Yo Gotti sacrificed his brother. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of people asking Big G and BTV, the Oracle. And don't you forget the TV, and you better always remember the Oracle. What is your perspective on the situation? I mean, is this the higher-ups and the elites playing chess at the highest level? You know what I'm saying? Is this something that went over everybody's head and under their bridge? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times, my G. I mean, it's a lot of speculation. It's a lot going on out there in Memphis right now. I mean, it's hot. Yeah, it's hotter than the summertime. Right now, dead in the cold of winter. It's hot. You know what I mean? And I told y'all already, if you don't know, one thing for sure, two things for certain, you either going to get down or you going to lay down. And if you lay down, just like Big Jook, you going to stay down. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deep in the rap, but you scratching the surface now. Already went live, and we had a drink last night for Paper Route Entertainment, Paper Route Empire. You know what I'm saying? We had a drink for young Dolph, for the memory of young Dolph, because believe it or not, if you like it or not, it was disgusting work what they did to that young man. It's disgusting work what they did to a king. And I already told y'all, you never chop the head off a king prematurely. You do that, then you pay with your life. Your name will be cursed for 100 years. But once the smoke and mirrors get to clearing out and everybody starts looking at the situation, it's a lot of people that feel like it's the higher-ups and the elites playing chess at the highest level. So we're going to talk about this. Now, we're not going to stay long. At the most, I'm going to give you all a clean 60 minutes of power, but you might not even stay that long because this is an easy fix. Now, here at Grown Man Business TV, you already know, we always here to expose the higher-ups and the elites. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Grown Man Business TV is going to point the finger at the higher-ups and the elites. You understand what I'm saying? If it's the low hat people, if it's Empire, Death Row Records, you know, Ghazi and them, you know, I'm going to make sure that the higher-ups and the elites don't hide in the shadows, don't hide behind the smoke and mirrors. I'm going to make sure to expose the higher-ups and the elites at all times, my G. But, you know, I gotta keep it real with y'all. You know, and you already know I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. So I got to keep it real with y'all. I got no choice but to keep it 100, 1,000, 1 million. In this particular situation with Yo Gotti and his big brother, you know, Big Jook, the higher-ups and the elites didn't have a hand in that. See, one thing for sure, two things for certain. You got to know that the higher-ups and the elites, they will line you up. Yeah. They'll Epstein you. They'll Michael Jackson you. They'll do you like Prince or Whitney Houston. They will line you up for sure. But then a lot of the times, they'll let you walk into your own death trap. They'll let you get full of your pride, full of ego. You know what I'm saying? They'll let you get real big-headed so that you can't see the traps and you can't see, you know what I'm saying, the enemy about to attack. And they'll let you walk right into a death trap. They will let you do that. In this particular situation, man, the higher-ups and the elites had nothing to do with that. Yeah. See, you got to understand something about the whole sacrifice, you know, the door. You got to understand something about the door. Universal law makes the higher-ups and the elites have to give you a choice. They have to give you a choice. So it's never a time where they just sacrifice somebody. It's never a time they just take somebody without you knowing or without you giving the okay, unless you don't make a decision. Now, let me break this down for you because we're going to get deep into the situation. You know, they'll approach you. They'll send little tests your way. You want to do the LBG 123 ABC community? You want to put a dress on? Okay. You don't want to put a dress on? No problem. How about we lead you to one of these parties? We having a all-white party. You know, Mike Rubin and Lil Baby, they gonna be four pockets full at this next party. So how about you go? You got an invitation. Your name is on the list. Let's say you don't go to that party. Okay, that's number two. All right, that's number two. Once you deny the offer, now it's the sacrifice, the blood sacrifice. And they say, listen, man, you got to give somebody up. They got to give you a choice. They got to give you a opportunity to have your way, to have a decision. They can never just take your energy. You have to choose a side. All right, cool. You got to give somebody up. You don't want to give nobody up. So now you had three chances to walk through the door. The LBG 123 ABC community, you know, getting bust down like TD Jakes at a Diddy party, or giving up one of your blood sacrifices. If you don't pick one, that's when they take somebody. That's when they take somebody that you don't have no choice in the matter, because you're gonna walk through the door. You're gonna walk through the door. But see, what I'm learning and what I understand, that the people in my DM, they not really connected, they not really understanding, is that Yo Gotti done already walked through the door. Yo Gotti is not a new artist. Yo Gotti is not somebody that's new to the game. You understand me? Yo Gotti done already been to these, Rockefeller brunches with Jay-Z. Yo Gotti done already pulled strings. Yo Gotti done already did certain things within the industry to let the higher-ups and the elites know that he's down with the cause, including young Dolph. Yeah, he pushed the play. Yeah, he shed blood already within the industry. So you got to understand something. The last thing Yo Gotti would have did was gave up Big Jook. The last thing he would have did was gave up his brother, Big Jook. He might have gave up Glorilla. He might have gave up, Moneybag Yo. I'm sure he would have gave up Black Youngster. Yeah, he would have put Black Youngster on the chopping block before he would have gave up his brother. And not only gave up his brother, but at the repass of one of the biggest drug dealers in Memphis history. His family, you understand? Somebody that his mother and his aunties was working with, selling dope with, in the streets with. That's disgusting work, my G. And being as though Yo Gotti done did his thing in the industry, he done made an influence, he done promoted violence, he done caused a lot of bloodshed in those Memphis streets. He wouldn't have never had to give up his big brother. That's a definitely no. So again, here at Grown Man Business TV, we always about pointing out the higher-ups and the elites. Nine times out of 10, those little hat people got their hand in the pot and they stirring up the pot. If it's not to cause destruction in the community, then it's to cash in on one of those life insurance policies that they got on one of you little artists that y'all ain't even read the game. You ain't even read the contract. You wanted to get signed and you ain't know that they got a life insurance policy on their property, because when you sign that contract and they give you that advance, you are now property. You are now an asset. And with any asset, with any property, with any real estate, you got to put insurance on it, baby. You got to put, it's just like homeowners insurance. You got to put insurance on it. So he done already did his work. Yo Gotti already did his work, but so anytime I get a chance to expose the higher-ups and the elites, I'm going to do that. I'm going to definitely do that. But I'm here to tell you, here at Grown Man Business TV, I'm here to tell everybody in the DM, everybody asking me what I think about that. Did Yo Gotti sacrifice his brother? Nah, he didn't sacrifice his brother. What he did was he cursed himself. He cursed his family when he took out young Dolph, when he had a hand in taking out a king prematurely. So believe it or not, I know it's a lot going on in social media. I know it's a lot going on these platforms with these content creators. You got to understand that was payback for young Dolph. Yeah, That was not a sacrifice, my G. That was payback for young Dolph. That was simply street politics. That's all that was. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. If Yo Gotti would have went to that repath, those shooters would have ran up on Yo Gotti, regardless of who he had with him, regardless of security. They would have shot it out with the security to get close to Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti understood. He got out of there. He went to the funeral, but he didn't go to the repast. But he was at the funeral though. You understand? He was in Memphis. They missed their shot when it come to Yo Gotti, but they got his brother. That's payback for Dolph. It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. And out there in Memphis, B, Yo Gotti name is cursed. His mama, his kids, his cousins, anybody close to Yo Gotti got a target on their back for what they did to young Dolph. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why truth telling is so important. That's why Grown Man Business TV voice is more powerful than CNN, than Fox News, than the Breakfast Club with, Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy playing butt tag every morning. That's why this platform, this voice is more powerful, because it's so much smoke and mirrors out there, my G. It's so much smoke and mirrors. It's so much confusion outside that it's easy to get led this way. It's easy to get led that way. It's easy to get led astray. It's so easy to get caught up in the smoke and mirrors and not be able to find your way out. It's too easy. They done got this thing down to a science to where the people, most of the people, the majority, they can't tell if it was a sacrifice, if it was street politics, if it was an accident, if it was a random hit. So people just start. But you got to understand something. It's clear. When you open that third eye, it's very clear. What y'all thought, again, Yo Gotti, what he thought he was going to, get rid of young Dolph and then marry Angela Simmons and then walk off into the sunset. That ain't how it work in the streets. That ain't how it work in the streets, homie. So now this what you really got to put an eye on, and you really gotta understand is that even though it is street politics, the higher ups and the elites are paying attention. The higher ups and the elites play chess at the highest level. So sometimes they get to sit back, watch what's going on, and then maneuver and assist if they need to. Because a lot of the times these dudes is going to walk right into a death trap. A lot of the times the higher ups and the elites ain't got to take you out. You're going to take yourself out. They're going to give you everything you need to self-destruct yourself. You're going everything you need to self-destruct, my G. So a lot of the times they get to sit back, see what's going on. Damn, Yo Gotti, it's getting hot out there. We know what you did to young Dolph. We thought you would be a little smarter than to just be chilling and lamping out there in Memphis after you did what you did to young Dolph. We let you slide, didn't we? Listen, we already know, the rental car that y'all use to shoot up young Dolph's truck out there in North Carolina, we already know that your artist rented that truck. So we already got enough evidence to slam you in a RICO case if we really wanted to slam you. But we let you slide because young Dolph was getting out of control. We let you slide with that hit on young Dolph because we couldn't even control young Dolph. So we needed something to happen, and you did exactly what you needed to do. But if you keep playing, if you keep on making it hot, and we can't put young Dolph name to rest, you're gonna be the sacrifice. You're going to have to go through a humiliation ritual. So I'm here to tell you at Grown Man Business TV, you ain't heard this nowhere else. You only come here for the real. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. So I'm probably going to be the first one to tell you that Yo Gotti has a humiliation ritual that's approaching. Don't be surprised within this year, 2024, something don't come up with Yo Gotti. If it's sexual assault charges, if it's RICO charges for CMG being a gang, or something's gonna come up because you put young Dolph to rest. You assassinate that man. You skip and beat a RICO charge. Your black youngster didn't get charged. He got out of that situation for renting that car that was used to shoot all those bullets at young. We done got you out of all the mess. And somehow, some way, you're not a big enough boss to be able to make young Dolph's name lie to rest. Let the people forget about young Dolph. We need them to forget. But every time we look up, Yo Gotti, you got something going on with young Dolph. Every time we look up, you bringing his name. Now we got to worry about if that would, yeah. Now you got your brother out there. You ain't take him with you. He gets assassinated, and now young Dolph name is hotter than fish grease all over social media, all over these content creators' pages, all over these platforms that we run. We seeing young pictures of young Dolph. We hearing young Dolph. It's only so long we're gonna be able to save you. It's only so long that his death is not. Listen, man. Listen, man. You think straight drop? Listen. You think straight dropping whoever that other dude name is big enough characters to suffice justice for young Dolph? Think about it. If we really believe that it was just straight dropping his homie riding around in a dirty ass Mercedes Benz and they just so happened to catch young Dolph slipping, if we really believe that, then we all would let young Dolph rest in peace. But it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. And when you decapitate a king prematurely, we get to looking past the shooter. Okay, he was on camera, he's the shooter, but who paid him? Who gave him the green light to touch a king? Now we looking at Yo Gotti. Now we looking at Big Jook. So was it a sacrifice? Nah. We can't give this one to the higher ups and the elites. We actually got to give this body to yeah, them balls that's still sliding for young Dolph. We got to give the body to the balls that's still sliding for young Dolph. And I told y'all last night, and I tell y'all today, you know, big salute to them balls. You know, if it's going to be a war, then it's going to be a war. But the last thing I would ever want to see is PRE artists on the same stage with CMG artists, you know, having a versus or something like Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane. That's the last thing I want to see. You know, you smoke Pookie Loke, we going to war for the next 100 years. That's what it is for young Dolph. Them young boys, listen, they get to listening to young Dolph. They get to smoking that good cannabis, that good marijuana. They get to drinking on that lean, and it's like a Negro spiritual. We ready to ride. It don't matter if you at the funeral, if you at a repast, it don't matter where we find you at. Somebody gonna lay down. And listen, you either gonna lay down or you gonna stay down. And if you lay down, you definitely gonna stay down. You feel me? So again, man, you know, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of, you know, the streets is on fire. I made my lane exposing the higher ups and the elites. I made a lane for the real, exposing Empire, Death Row Records, and Ghazi. All of these foreigners within our culture, you know, controlling the narrative of our culture. I made a lane exposing them. But see, I ain't gonna lie on nobody. I can't make up a narrative. I can't make up a story. I'm not gonna sit here and concoct a whole story to tell y'all. So if it ain't got nothing to do with the higher ups and the elites, I'm not gonna pin the body. I'm not gonna pin the tail on the donkey. I'm not gonna put that body on them. This is a war. This is a war. And I tell you all the time, you've already heard the saying, what good is a man to sell his soul and gain the world? Yo Gotti sold his soul already. He been in bed with the higher ups and the elites for a long time. For a long time. Let me Let me give y'all a whole different perspective when it come to Yo Gotti. We all know because Yo Gotti raps about all the dope he used to sell. All his mama was in jail for dope. His auntie was in jail for dope. He sold dope, kilos upon kilos. And we all know that the higher ups and the elites, if they really want you, they'll double back and they'll pin you for shit you did back in the past. Why haven't Yo Gotti been charged for shit that he did back in the day? That's because he fell up under Jay-Z. And the same thing for Jay-Z. He raps about losing 92 keys. He raps about making $1 million off of dope, but Jay-Z never been in jail for it because he fell up under the higher ups and the elites. Jay-Z hired a rat, a confidential informant to work for Rock Nation. He's doing work for the higher ups and the elites. And it is no coincidence why you always see Yo Gotti right up under Jay-Z's nuts. Oh, Yo Gotti is always at the Rock Nation brunches. Yo Gotti is always telling people how he patterned his success after Jay-Z. So you got to understand something. A dude like Yo Gotti, when it comes to sacrifices, he got multiple of people that he could put on the chopping block that would suffice. All of these artists that he got, CMG got life insurance policies on all of these artists. Yeah, Glorilla, Moneybag Yo, ETSG, whatever these dudes' names is. He got life insurance, so he could easily say, listen, we ain't heard from ETSG in about a year. He ain't making no noise. I'm gonna give you him. I'm gonna give you ETSG or ESG, whatever his name is. We gonna put him on the chopping block, line him up. He out there in Kentucky right now. Knock his head off. He don't have to give his brother up. Jook, nah. And I'm gonna tell you something. I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures of Big Jook. But we all gotta pick a side, and I'm riding with Dolph. I'm riding with PR. I'm riding with Flipper. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You reap what you sow. The seeds that you plant will soon grow, homie, and they might turn to weeds and choke you out. And homie got, yeah, big fish. They caught a big fish yesterday. They caught a big fish out there in Memphis. But I'm here to tell you that they still fishing. You can't be the king of Memphis and you can't come to Memphis. You can't be the king of Memphis and you can't set foot in Memphis. Yeah. Yo Gotti went to the funeral and he slid out of there. Definitely not a sacrifice. Definitely not a sacrifice, my G's. You know, it's a war going on outside. And again, I don't condone war. But I will say this, you can't have life without death, homie. You can't have peace without war. If you got peace, then you gotta have war. If you got life, then you gotta have, it all coincides with each other. So you touch young Dolph, it's time to 100 years. Gotti is cursed. CMG is cursed. And I'm telling you. Now let me again, you come here for the real. A lot of things gonna go over your head or under your bridge, and I'ma bring light to that. So like I just told y'all, guaranteed this year we're gonna see a humiliation ritual with Yo Gotti. Something's gonna happen around Yo Gotti. And I ain't even talking about Big Jook, but I'm talking about something that is involving the higher ups and the elites, something that's gonna involve those people. And you understand what I'm saying? If Yo Gotti doesn't wanna get treated like Puff Daddy, if Yo Gotti doesn't want to go through the humiliation ritual like TD Jakes, you understand me? Then you will be seeing a sacrifice being made. And I mean like one of his artists, maybe his mom, I'm thinking one of his artists is going to pay. But it could be his mama. It could be somebody close to him. It could be his sister. It could be somebody that we can relate to him. So if he don't accept the humiliation ritual, which is coming, y'all don't understand how big this hit was. It wasn't like, some little dudes out there in Memphis that going to war behind CMG and paper route, and they losing their life in the streets and we hear nothing about it. This was a big hit. This was a hit that reignited Young Dolph's name, reignites Young Dolph's case. So that's what's putting Yo Gotti in hot water. That's where Yo Gotti is going to have to pay something to the higher ups and the elites, because you let such a big fish get, you didn't control that situation. You didn't get your brother out there, and now that they got their hands on your brother, now we answering more questions, and we being questioned about this whole situation with you and Young Dolph. And Young Dolph, he been deleted. He got assassinated years ago. We shouldn't have to still be talking about Young Dolph. His name shouldn't be getting brought up amongst you and them. He's out of here. We already had a big thing for him. We fly his cars all around, and his son is doing his thing. And you would think that died down, but they ain't letting that sleep, homie. So yeah, Yo Gotti is going to go through a humiliation ritual soon. He's going to go through either a humiliation ritual, or somebody else is going to lose their life being connected to Young Dolph. He's cursed. And this is the downhill. This is where it goes downhill for Yo Gotti. We you brought Angela Simmons in. You feel what I'm saying? You brought Angela Simmons in. You tried to change your whole narrative. You tried to change our perspective. You tried to change your image. Yeah, you're moving again, just like Jay-Z. I don't know, last night I went almost 2 hours, and I was really trying to break down that connection. But just like Jay-Z got his Beyonce, you trying to get your Beyonce with Angela Simmons. You trying to, after you got rid of Young Dolph, after you got that man assassinated, now you trying to soften your image, taking a bunch of pictures with your shirt off. You know what I'm saying? Walking around with your Beyonce and Angela Simmons and taking pictures for Instagram. You trying to soften your image. But we don't see that when we see you, Yo Gotti. When we see you, all we think about is Dolph. Anytime we see you, homie, again, I'm just here to give you the real. I'm here to tell you the things that the yes men around Yo Gotti ain't gonna tell him. Yo, homie, that shit ain't working. I know you don't want to be connected to Young Dolph. I know you don't want to be connected to the assassination of a Memphis king, but I'm telling you, walking around with Angela Simmons, that shit ain't helping you. We don't believe it. It's not working. It's not working, homie. Angela Simmons or not, every time we see you, we think about Young Dolph. So you try to change your image. You try to dumb it down. You trying to calm the people down. But that's not going to work. And because that is not working, because Young Dolph's name is still being spoke on, it's hotter than fish grease in these YouTube streets. The higher ups and the elites look down on that. They look down on that. That's not a part of the program. That ain't what we agreed to. We agreed. Yeah, you took out Young Dolph. We got you out the RICO charges. We got the feds off of you. Now we asking you to dumb down and change your image, and the shit ain't working. So you know what we do to change your image, right? You know what the higher ups and the elites want to do to change your image. Yeah, we will assassinate your character. Yeah. Yeah, Angela Simmons ain't working. So how about a sexual assault charge? How about you put on a dress? Or how about you give up one of your artists? Lil Glorilla, Moneybag Yo. How about something happens to one of them, and that takes the spotlight off of you, and that takes the spotlight off of us? See, one thing for sure, two things for certain. You always wanna make a move or make a move or two to keep the spotlight and keep the questioning down on what's going on behind the smoke and mirrors. You want to keep the spotlight on you. You want people to look at you. You don't want people to look at Dolph. Dolph got wiped out in that cookie store. That is behind the smoke and mirrors now. Dolph been laid to rest for some years now. That should be far behind the smoke and mirrors. And now you want to make everybody look at you. And what's one of the best ways to get somebody to look at you and not pay attention to the bullshit behind the smoke and mirrors? Get you a girlfriend. Get you a Beyonce. Get you a Angela Simmons. Walk her around. Parade your girl all on Instagram and social media. Make sure she's there. Make sure they're couples. They're a coupledom now. But see, when Jay-Z did it, it was new to the game. When Jay-Z did it, he did it with a top tier. I'm talking Beyonce. He had to he had to get a young Beyonce and groom her for them to become what they are today. Yo, Gotti, that you following behind Jay-Z, you following the blueprint of Sean Carter, that shit ain't gonna work for you, homie. When we see Angela Simmons, we don't think anything special. We don't think of Beyonce. We think about young Dolph. Damn, you remember what you did to young Dolph? Damn, you remember what you did to young Flipper? A young king that was in a progress of change in Memphis. He was on a path from changing the mind state of the young shooters in Memphis. You remember what you did to that young king? That's all we see, yo, Gotti. We don't see the mansions. If you don't believe me, look at Yo Gotti's social media. Look at his social media. Now, again, there was no sacrifice. Jook was not sacrificed. That was a lieutenant. That was a CEO. That was Yo Gotti's big brother. That pushed the green light on young Dolph. And then after young Dolph lost his life, got in the car, start riding around and was mocking the death of young Dolph. That what I put in my last short. Check the last short I just posted, where he was talking crazy. Yeah, we gonna save the day. No more shows, no more money for PRE. He was mocking the death of a king. And then got his head knocked off. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta understand something. When you get your head knocked off like that, like Big Jook did, the 2 years between young Dolph death and Big Jook getting his head knocked off feels like 5 minutes. When them dudes was knocking his head off, it felt like Dolph lost his life 5 minutes ago. You can't even tell in between the 24 months. You don't even feel like it was 2 years. The game is wicked, my G. The game is wicked. And when you in that industry, you are knee deep in that game. If you like it or not, you're playing with the Baphomet. If you like it or not. So like it or not, Big Jook, he sowed those seeds. So nah, man, to everybody that's in the DM, to everybody that's locked in with the channel, again, you already know, man, I'm going to expose the higher-ups and the elites. I am going to definitely shine a light on the higher-ups and the elites, because no matter what goes down in this game, we all and everybody's playing the game within their matrix, especially the rap game, hip-hop, music, movies, radio, YouTube. I told y'all YouTube is the new portal. So YouTube is now involved. YouTube is now a part. It is ran and controlled by the higher-ups and the elites. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. So even YouTube, when you playing in this game, you're already in the matrix. It's up to you. It's up to you to become a rebel inside this matrix. It's up to you to say, nah, homie, I know what y'all want, but it is what it is. And if y'all got a problem, then we can go to war behind it. So when Big Jook was laughing at Young Dolph, when Big Jook sent those dirty, musty, you know what I'm saying? They just dirty, musty, busted young balls to shoot down a king. You had to know that you was gonna pay for that. That's out. That ain't got nothing to do with the higher ups and the elites. That's universal law. The universe. That's just universal law, my G. Some of us down here that's on this earth, that's in this realm, you ain't supposed to touch. You ain't supposed to touch. Our purpose is too purposeful. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Our purpose is too purposeful. And if you choose to go against the laws of the creator, if you choose to go against the laws of the universe, you pay for that with your life. You don't get to repent. You don't get to say sorry. You don't get to go to jail. You don't get to pass go. You don't get to skip and collect $200. You pay with your life. Homie that did what he did to Nipsey Hussle got 60 years in jail. He's paying with his life. You could only imagine. You can only imagine what those guards is putting on his food and putting on his tray that he's eating every day. I can guarantee you he been eating feces for the last 2 years. Drinking piss for the last 2 years. Because again, some of us down here, we shine our light, homie. Our light shines bright. And when you put that light out, it's people all over the world that feel the absence of that light. They feel the absence of Young Dolph. They feel the absence of Nipsey Hussle. And people that have never met Young Dolph, people that have never met Nipsey Hussle are gonna make you pay. Their spirit is gonna be compelled to put feces in your tray, put piss in your Kool-Aid, and serve it to you every day. You're gonna pay with your life. Yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, my G. Yeah, for sure. You can't hide it. You can't run from it. These are things that, again, I don't like the, but, you come down here, you got free will to do what you want to do. But you will pay for what so not a sacrifice, nah. Nah, that wasn't a sacrifice. Yo Gotti is, yeah, he hurting right now. Yo Gotti somewhere crying, upset. He hurting right now. He got Angela Simmons holding him, baby, it's gonna be all right. Yeah, they took a big fish off the map. He lost a big fish. So he ain't feeling comfortable. Like, yo, now that wasn't no sacrifice. That was an assassination. That was get back for young Flipper. That was get back for young Dolph. You already know. Salute, salute. Yeah. And then, see, again, the smoke and mirrors, go over your head and it go under your bridge. The humiliation ritual hasn't even happened yet. Because young Dolph name is hotter than fish grease, because they can't figure out how to put young Dolph to rest. They can't figure out how to get the people to forget about young Dolph and how to let him rest in peace. That's why Yo Gotti is going to go through a humiliation ritual this year. Because, listen, man, if we put you in a dress, they might forget about young Dolph. If we take one of your artists out, they might forget about young Dolph. If we take you out, they might forget about young Dolph. But we got to do something to make them forget about young Dolph. And you ain't doing enough. You ain't doing enough. You told us Angela Simmons was going to break it down and was going to soften your image. And you told us all these things and it ain't happening. But you know the higher ups and the elites, we got a foolproof plan. Oh, we got a foolproof plan, homie. It never fails. Oh, we got multiple different options to get this under control. And as soon as it's time for us to step in, you already know. You already know. You already, yeah, pick one. And I mean, listen, man, you wouldn't believe the DMs, man. And the majority of the DMs that I'm getting are saying, yo, that was a sacrifice. Yo, GMB TV, do you think that was a sacrifice? Yo, Gotti gave up his brother. Yo, nah, homie. These things always go over the majority of y'all head and it goes under y'all bridges. That's why it's so easy to stir the pot. That's why it's so easy to lead the sheep off the cliff. Point the sheep that way. They'll walk right off the cliff. They'll walk right off the cliff, right into the hellfire. They won't ask no questions. They can't see past the smoke and mirrors. They don't know what's going on. So I'm seeing these messages and I'm thinking to myself, listen, man, I'm gonna go ahead and double back. I'm gonna go ahead and double back because again, you come here for the real. Absolutely not a sacrifice. Absolutely not a sacrifice. Guaranteed 100% a hit for young Dolph. We up one. That's all that was. That's all that's gonna be. Now, what falls and what transpires after this is what you need to pay close attention to. I'm telling you, never fall for the double cross. Always pay attention to the triple cross. So everything that happens after this is what you need to pay close attention to. Close. Oh, when Yo Gotti makes breaking news in about 2 months, Yo Gotti on the court, he's hit with a RICO charge. The feds are looking for Yo Gotti lost one of his best artists. Memphis is on fire. Such and such just was killed. And that's what you need to pay attention to. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, man. Salute. Salute, you know what I'm saying? Any day above ground is the best day. It's the best day. And anytime you get comfortable, that's when the hitters come. That's when the shooters come. That's when you sitting around, you're smoking your weed, you ain't paying attention. You forgot what you did to young Dolph, and you thought it was sweet. You thought that the temperature died down. Whole time, it's still 180 degrees out here in these streets. Whole time, it's still a lot of people that's crying over young Dolph. Whole time, it's still a lot of people that's hurt over what happened to young Dolph because it was not supposed to happen, homie. It was not supposed to happen. And the people feel it when shit like that go down. When you got a young Dolph or a Nipsey Hussle and they spirit is released into the universe prematurely, we feel it. Everybody felt that, man. Everybody felt that. And everybody don't got a clear head like Grown Man Business TV. It's still a lot of youngsters out there in Memphis that's cloudy. They mind is cloudy. They high. They on lean. They on whatever else y'all got going on. They got switches. Everybody got guns. And they waiting for the opportunity to get some get back because that get back is going to make them feel so good. They going to get back to the trap. They going to park. They going to roll that weed up and they going to say word to Dolph. Word to Dolph. Dolph, you saw that? Dolph, you could hear him laughing. Dolph, that was for you. We ain't going to stop. That's what, yeah. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, my G. It's love and hate. It's life and death. It's peace and war. You can't have one without the other. And right now, it's a war going on outside. Young Dolph listen, Gotti would have gave up anything to keep his brother here. Gotti would have gave up anything. He would have gave up the money. He would have gave up one of his artists. He would have gave up something other than Big Jook. And then the way he got taken out in the pictures that was taken, his head, he got his head knocked off. Listen, man, at one point in time, I would avoid pictures like that. I didn't like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, when P&B rock, when P&B got rocked out there in California, that was the last time I looked at those type. When I saw the video, that shit traumatized me. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was traumatized for like 2, 3 months, bro. Like the way they did P&B Rock and that Roscoe's and Chicken, the way he was crawling all, swimming in his own blood, shit traumatized me. But at the same time, it desensitized me. Looking at these YouTubes, looking at this content, looking at the social media, looking at these platforms, so much death, I became desensitized. So when the pictures of Big Jook was floating around, I went ahead and I looked at them. And it didn't affect me like it affected, like with P&B Rock. You know, I looked at that picture and I was like, that's what come with this shit. That's what come when you take out a king like Young Dolph out of jealousy, out of envy, out of the fact that you know that he's on the same level to you, if not bigger, if not on a higher level. And then you take his life, you take him away from his wife, you take him away from his daughter and his son. The picture of Big Jook didn't really affect me like that. When I saw Young Dolph's son crying, that shit that affected me. That pulled at my emotional, my heartstrings. When I saw Young Dolph's daughter and I saw his son crying at the fact that they would never see their dad again over your jealousy, over your hate. So when I saw Big Jook laying on they stretched him out too. Half his body was in the grass, half his body was on the curb, homie. It was disgusting work what they did to him. I understood fully. That's not the higher ups and the elites. That ain't that nah. They ain't do that. I looked at the picture for a few minutes and I took it in. P&B Rock, I saw that shit and I cut it off. I couldn't even watch it. It was so crazy. That shit, that one right there was breathtaking what they did to P&B Rock. Big Jook, not so much. Not so much, my G. Is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That would come with the game. Stand on business. Don't cry now. Because y'all made that man family cry. His son's still coping with that. His daughter's still coping with that. And you running around with Angela Simmons. Listen, man. Listen. It's all coming around. It's a 360 cycle. It's all coming back around. Yo, Gotti. Is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute to the chat. Like I told y'all, I ain't staying long. You know, making some moves, handling some business. But the DMs is jumping, and right now we gonna talk about this. Right now we gonna elaborate on this. Right now we gonna tap in because, that's why I carved out my lane. Empire Death Row Records. Go back into the archive of my videos, of my pre-recorded videos. I got 100,000 views on one video, 250, 250,000 views on the next video, 80, 90,000 views. My views, the views I got on those videos exposing the higher ups and the elites, these dudes is dropping podcast episodes that ain't getting the same numbers. These dudes is setting up whole backgrounds and microphones and they interviewing these people and this person and this guy and they might do 60,000, they might do 50,000 views. Those videos I was doing when Young Dolph lost his life and I was exposing Empire Death Row Records, all them videos got 100,000, 200,000, 280,000 views. Go check in my archives. The videos is still there. So when it come to Young Dolph and it come to the right situation, we gonna talk about that. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, I understood that I ain't want to stretch that out. I got my point across and then I moved on. But we ain't never gonna forget what happened to Nipsey Hussle. We ain't never gonna forget what happened to Young Dolph. That's where y'all messed up at. That was bad decision making right there. That was bad leadership right there. And this is the consequences of bad leadership. These are the consequences of bad decision making. These are the consequences of adopting the ways of the higher ups and the elites and then applying it to your people, homie. Like I said last night, you know, two kings can rub shoulders. Two kings can come to an agreement. You don't gotta chop the head off the next king to try to make yourself bigger, because killing young Dolph did not make Yo Gotti any bigger. It actually damaged your image. It damaged your whole setup, homie. We don't even look at you the same. Your music don't sound the same. We ain't rocking with it. Your image is, we don't care about. Angela Simmons would be smart to get away from Yo Gotti right now. If she was smart, she would get far, far away from Yo Gotti. Far away. If she was smart. But I you know, I can't, hey, listen, is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be. Everybody that's around Yo Gotti would be smart to get away from Yo Gotti. That man's name is cursed. He cursed his name when he smoked young Dolph. Cursed his name, homie. So listen, man, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Was that a sacrifice? Hell no, that wasn't a sacrifice. That was casualties of war. Ha. Yeah. Casualties of war. That's what come with this. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now listen, man, you know, we're gonna watch some of these football games. We're gonna situate ourselves on this beautiful Sunday evening. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna do what we do. Sun is shining, you know. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day, so that's a federal holiday. So a lot of things are going to be closed tomorrow. A lot of people are not going to work tomorrow. You know, you already know how we give it up. So we going live tonight. I'm going to double back, and depending on how I'm feeling, you know, we'll talk more about Yo Gotti, talk about Big Jook getting his head knocked off out there in Memphis. All right, we might mix it up a little bit. But it's high consistency all year. Listen, this is the Kobe year. This is 2024. Take full advantage of the energy. The energy is powerful. You know, if you want to believe it or not, if you want to ignore it, that's up to you. But the energy on this planet right now is at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high. So I guarantee you, we will be well past 20,000 subscribers this year. Well past 20. We might get close to 30,000 this year alone. We already approaching 17,000 subscribers. We will be well over 20,000 by the end of this year, because it's a lot that's going to happen. And its consistency is key, homie. So yeah, tonight we gonna double back. We gonna tap in. Salute to everybody in the chat. You already know how we do. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. You understand? We built this platform organically, and I'm loving that. There is no extras. There is no preservatives. We giving it to you straight raw, my G. Straight raw. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. There is nobody else in this lane. The lane for the real is wide open, and I'm the only one in it. I'm the only one in it. Yeah, and I'm sending love to all the content creators. But then you got to understand, too, at the same time, it's going to be tough love. So I'm still not going to say everything you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what it is, but it's all love. It's nothing personal. It's all business. But it's tough love going to be coming with that, because it's a lot of BS going on. It's a lot of false information being put out there. So yeah, man, you know, big salute to everybody out there, you know. You know, tap in and tap out, but you already know my slogan. I suggest that you tap in. Tap into the realest. Sacrifice? Nah, not this time, man. Not this time, but a humiliation ritual will be following this. It's coming. And I'm glad, listen, when it happened, You already know I'm gonna be right there to let you know. I told you so, right? You already see. You see what's happening? You see what's going down? Think about how nobody talks about P&B Rock. Think about that's what I'm trying to just give you a a clear landscape of what I mean by Young Dolph, and think about how nobody talks about Takeoff. When the last time you heard somebody bring up Takeoff? When the last time you heard somebody bring up P&B Rock? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, salute, man. You know, salute, man. We might could work something out, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think my barber is on point. You know what I mean? I gotta give my barber his flowers, man. He a beast. You know, but salute JoJo. You know what I mean? Might take you up on that, man. But I don't just, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't like to just hop around with barbers, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see, go on my DM, man, on Instagram, man. Send me some of your work. Send me a link to where I can see your work at, and we'll go from there. But I don't, I don't just I don't cheat on the barber, man. You know what I'm saying? My boy, you know what I'm saying? He got the waves spinning nice and neat. Got the edge up right where I wanted at. Beard all full, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do. But yeah, for sure. Hit me up on Instagram, man. Send me a link to something so I can see what you're working with. But you already know. Come on, man. You already see that edge up clean like that, boy. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You already see that edge up clean like that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You already see that edge up clean like that. All right, come on, man. You already know what we doing, baby. You know that edge up clean, JoJo. But yeah, ask yourself this question. When the last time you heard Takeoff name? When the last time you heard P&B Rock name? Other than me mentioning these guys. Got their heads blown off. Blown off. But the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys ain't being talked about. Jay Prince and Jay Prince Jr. and Jazz and all the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys, we ain't hearing about them no more. You know why? Because Takeoff was taken out. Takeoff got taken off this earth. And then sooner or later, they was able to die it down. Quavo, he was able to do a song with Takeoff for the Grammys, and they was able to get on stage together, and everybody was so happy that they reunited that they forgot about Takeoff. They forgot about Takeoff. So if everybody was still questioning what happened out there at that bowling alley with Takeoff, and who took out Takeoff, and who assassinated Takeoff, if everybody still had Takeoff name in these streets, if everybody had Takeoff name in these streets on fire like fish grease, somebody would have to pay. Somebody would have to be humiliated. A ritual would have to happen because nobody can let Takeoff name rest. Same thing with P&B Rock. Imagine everybody still upset about P&B Rock. Imagine everybody still talking and pointing fingers, and a war was going on in California over the death of P&B Rock. In due time, that young lady that was with him, somebody would have to go through something to get the attention off of P&B Rock and place it somewhere else. But since everybody done forgot about P&B Rock, since everybody done forgot about Takeoff, and I could go down the list, homie. I can go down the list. But I want to use those two guys because those were situations where everybody was talking. When Takeoff lost his life, everybody was talking about the Prince family. And I mean, it got so bad that the whole Prince family had to do an interview with Gilly and Wallow with $1 million worth of game, trying to sway the narrative. And it worked. That shit worked. And because they were able to sway the narrative, because they were able to take the attention off of Takeoff and put it on whoever else and get everybody to relax and get everybody to calm down, Everybody was able to move on with their life. Everybody was able to get back to normal, and everybody was able to forget about Takeoff. You don't see nobody talking about Takeoff. You don't see Offset. You don't see Quavo. You don't see them talking about their brother. So therefore, no humiliation rituals are necessary. But this situation with young Dolph, you see the pros and cons. You see yeah, there are no similarities. The only similarity is that it was gun violence. But when it come to young Dolph, when it come to his spirit, when it come to everybody feeling the way and talking about it, for some reason, everybody's still bringing up young Dolph. Nobody talks about Takeoff. Nobody talks about P&B Rock. And because that is happening, that is what's going to lead to more situations arising. That's what's going to lead to a humiliation ritual. We are trying to take the attention off of young Dolph. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. That's why, again, when it comes to a lot of sheep, it's easy to go over your head and it's easy to go under your bridge. But when you start to see past the smoke and mirrors, when you can move the curtain to the side and look backstage, it's easy to pinpoint everything. When you can really pin the dots, I mean, it's easy. Again, think about Takeoff. Think about how upset everybody was that a dude like Takeoff, a nice, quiet young man that made his money, made amazing music, got his head blown off by some dusty no-name. Some dusty no-name dude out there in Texas that don't own a car, don't own property, don't own assets, don't own nothing. But all he did own was a gun that he used to blow Takeoff away, blow his head off. And now ask yourself, when the last time somebody talked about him? When the last time you seen a post about him? When the last time you seen one of his homies even just talking about him, just reminiscing about him? When the last time you seen an IG post about Takeoff? Now ask yourself, when the last time you heard? I always see people bringing up young Dolph. I always see K Glock and other PRE artists, if you're actually looking. I always see them talking about young Dolph. I always see them posting about young, even to this day, they always posted about young Dolph. Old videos of young Dolph giving Big 30 a purple Moochie Black or whatever the rapper, giving him a purple Lamborghini truck. I saw that video just last week. They always bringing up young Dolph. They not letting that die the way y'all let P&B Rock die, the way y'all let Takeoff die. Yeah. Why you think Quavo ain't went through a humiliation? Come on, man. Come on, man. Why you think Quavo ain't went through a humiliation ritual yet? Because they successfully took the attention off of Takeoff. And listen, let me not downplay the situation. Takeoff was highly influential. You understand? Takeoff, after his death, they tried to bring up the fact that his family was fighting over his money. That wasn't strong enough to keep the attention of the people. After his death, they even tried to bring up that he might have had some sexual assault cases. Yeah, a dead man. They were saying that a dead man might have to go to court for sexual assault. But even that wasn't strong enough. It wasn't strong enough to keep the attention of the people. Even that wasn't strong enough. You understand? So now they just gonna let it die out. Nobody from the Prince family had to pay nothing. Nobody had to go through a humiliation ritual. Nobody had to pay because they was able to get y'all to forget about Takeoff. Hold on, my G. Yeah, salute. Wayne Norman, salute, my G. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. See, young Dolph was different. His light was strong. His light was different. His spirit was different. And when you touch people like that, it's 10 times harder to get us to forget. Again, I don't want to keep bringing these guys up, but these examples are perfect examples. P&B Rock, people love this music. They love P&B Rock. Nobody talks about him. He is a vague memory now. Every now and then you might think about what happened to P&B Rock, and you might say, damn, that was disgusting work what they did to homie. What was he doing in there? And then you go on about your day. You don't think twice. You don't think twice. There's no reason for a humiliation ritual. There's no reason for them to bring anything up when it come to P&B Rock, because the people, us, we are the ones that, yeah, we are most powerful. When we start talking about something all together now, it becomes a problem. When we start addressing something all in together now, we become a problem. But when we forget about that, when we stop talking about that, that's when the higher ups and the elites say, woo, we got one on them. Woo, we ain't got to worry about that. We ain't got to worry about that no more. You know why? Because they ain't even talking about P&B Rock. Let's not bring them up. Let's not remind them what happened to P&B Rock and had him swimming in his own blood in that dirty ass Roscoe's and chicken and waffles. Even more than P&B Rock, people were really upset. I'm gonna tell you something. When Takeoff got taken off this earth, I was just like everybody else. I was highly upset about that. I thought it was disgusting work what they did to Takeoff. And I got live streams that you can go back again in my archives and you can look at, where I was going live talking about, Takeoff, talking about, hold on, guys. Hey, Joe, hold. Come on in, slide in. I got I took the camera down. I'm charging the camera up. Yeah, it's all good. I had that camera right there in the foyer. You see, it wasn't on because it was dead. The camera in the pool and the camera in the front still, they fully charged. Everything all right? How was work?
Regular.
All right. You was in the front today?
Yes.
You get some cards?
No.
No?
I wasn't even on register.
All right. Your hair look real pretty like that. You like it like that, right? You feel pretty, right? You like it?
Yes, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, yeah, I was you can cut that heater off. Can you cut the heater off?
It is warm, but it's cold outside.
Yeah. I figured you was gonna be hot.
You want me to turn the air on or just turn it
No,
on?
you can just turn it off. If you hungry, just throw the crab cakes in. You hungry?
No, but we can eat that for dinner.
Okay,
Or
cool.
you want to eat it right now?
No, we can eat it later. All right, 10-4. Yeah. But yeah, okay. I remember where I was at, right? So when Takeoff, and that's my oldest daughter. That's a whole nother live stream. She making her money right now. She's stacking her money, so she can have a decent down payment for a duplex. She wants some property, so we gonna put her. I'm leading her down the path to some property. You understand what I'm saying? She'll be 19 this year. Towards the end of the year, she should have about 25, 30,000. Whole nother live stream. But just like everybody else, when Takeoff got taken out of here, you understand, I was upset, man. I thought it was disgusting work. How could you shoot somebody like Takeoff in the back of the head? And I was going live and I was exposing, the Prince family. I was exposing certain things about the higher ups and the elites, and I would have 1,800, 1,900 people in the live stream all at one time. I've had that. You understand? I had somebody come into my DM, ask me could they use a clip. At this time, I wasn't even on Twitter. I told him, yeah, he clipped up one of my live streams, put it on Twitter. That shit did 1 million views in one day about Takeoff. 1 million views in one day. And I was getting phone calls from everybody. I was getting phone calls from everybody. All the way to the point where I had to set myself up a Twitter account so that I could see what they was talking about. And I went and I saw, 1 million plus views in 24 hours, right? And then soon enough, I learned from the situation with Takeoff how it works. Yeah. You lose your life. Everybody's upset. It's a lot of everybody's just upset. It's a circus on these YouTube streets. And then people start asking questions. After the circus, now everybody's starting to ask questions, and it's confusion. And then after the confusion, everybody calms down. Everybody goes back to work. Everybody goes back to their regular life. Everybody goes back to the things that they've been doing before. And they forget. They forget about that person that lost his life. They forget. You become a vague memory. And again, these are perfect examples because now we can show the contrast between Takeoff, P&B Rock, and Young Dolph. And then you can understand why it's so crazy. Now you can understand the difference in the artists. See, yeah, I like to break these things down. We already 70 minutes in. I'm already well over an hour of power. So now we just gonna roll with it. Nipsey Hussle, the higher ups and the elites had their hand in the pot. Nipsey Hussle was exposing how to get to those opportunity zones that Donald Trump was talking about. Yeah, Donald Trump was talking about opportunity zones where people in the ghetto would be able to, keep their property, where people in the ghetto would be able to keep their hands on their assets. And a lot of people wasn't paying attention. So Nipsey Hussle started making and shining light on the opportunity zones. Nipsey Hussle had a prime real estate with the Marathon store where a lot of Russians and a lot of people really wanted that corner property right there on Crenshaw and Slauson because they were building a train for the Rams Stadium. The higher ups and the elites got their hands and put their hands in a pot and they started talking with the LAPD and they lined the LAPD up to line up Nipsey Hussle. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. So when Nipsey Hussle got taken out, we automatically got Eric Holder, shitty cuz. And that was enough. That was enough to get the people not to forget about Nipsey Hussle, but to fall in line. Well, Nipsey Hussle got assassinated, right? Well, we got the person who killed him. Now, if you dig deep into the pot, if you dig deep into the gumbo, you realize that the LAPD lined that up. You'll realize that the LAPD gave Eric Holder that gun. You'll realize that the LAPD walked right up to that trash can and took the gun out of there. Ooh. Ooh. You know that video of Nipsey Hussle losing his life? If you pay attention, it's a little old white man that's walking through the video. That's walking in the same establishment that Eric Holder went in. That's walking out of the establishment. That's walking up to the gun. See, I'm trying to give you the game. So if you don't dig any deeper than Eric Holder, it's easy to move on with your life. Listen, Nipsey Hussle got assassinated. They got the person that assassinated him. What are we talking about? There's no reason to ask any more questions. There's no reason for humiliation rituals. There's no reason for exposure. There's no reason. But when it come to Young Dolph, it's a whole different playing field. Because not only did the higher ups and the elites stir that pot, but they used a fellow artist. They used somebody with high recognition. They used a Yo Gotti to eliminate. And they didn't understand the power of Young Dolph. They didn't understand because the higher ups and the elites, they never really understand your full potential. They look at you as just another, N-word. That's just another N-word that don't know what he doing. That's just another N-word that don't want to fall in line. He's just another N-word that don't want to get in bed with the higher ups and the elites, but they never know your full potential. They don't care. So the higher ups and the elites, they looked over Young Dolph's full potential. They looked over all of that. They gave the green light. Yeah, take him out. Don't you worry, Yo Gotti. You're not going to get caught up in the RICO charges. You're not going to get caught up with the feds. We're not going to lock you or Black Youngster up or Big Jook. None of y'all are going to fall and go to jail for assassinating Young Dolph. Because just like Takeoff, right? Don't worry, we got the game plan mapped out. Just like Takeoff, just like P&B Rock, just like Nipsey Hussle to a certain extent, those people are gonna forget about Young Dolph. Take him out, give him 24 months, and they won't be talking about Young Dolph. But little did they know, to their surprise, everybody's still talking about Young Dolph. Everybody's still feeling away. Even Makita, the cookie lady. They looking at her sideways. She ain't been able to live it down. Her life is in danger. She got a target on her back. Nobody has forgot about Young Dolph. And now we see Big Jook with his head blown off. And hey, we have now reunited. We have now put the flame to the fire. We have, yeah, heat up the temperature. Add more coal to the fire. We talking about Young Dolph again. 3-4 years done went by, we still talking about Young Dolph. 3-4 years done went by, and people still losing their life over Young Dolph. Ain't nobody lose their life over Takeoff. Ain't nobody lose their life over Takeoff, my G. Huh? If Takeoff, it was anything like Young Dolph, it would still be bodies being laid in the street out there in Houston. Huh? Jay Prince and his son still wouldn't be able to move around. But it's the total opposite. It's the total opposite. And you got to understand something. This is not something that the higher-ups and the elites would have wanted. They wouldn't have sanctioned. They wouldn't have okayed for Yo Gotti to give up his brother for what? We want them to forget about Young Dolph. We want to sweep that body under the rug, my G. We don't want them talking about Young Dolph. What the fuck we want you to give up your brother for? So they can start. Nah, that's not something they asking for, my G. Yeah, people die every day, facts. But kings don't get beheaded every day. That's the difference, Scully. People die every day, but kings don't. Kings don't, man. It's not every day that a king gets beheaded, my G. It's not every day that you put a king head on a chopping block and cut it off, especially premature. Now, when a king done ruled for 20 years, he done put his footprint in the earth. He done did everything he could do. He don't got sharp teeth no more. When the king done did everything he could do and it's time for him to give up the throne, now it makes sense. You don't believe me? Look at the Queen of England. She ruled for about 80 years. She was like 90-something years old. And because she wasn't like Princess Diana, she wasn't cut off prematurely. Everybody was able to understand that the Queen of England had to lose her life. She had to go. She ruled. She did her thing. She made her mark. And now it's time to pass the crown down. Nobody cried. Nobody's gonna pay for the Queen of England. But guess who we are still talking about to this day? Guess who they're still making books about to this day? Guess who conspiracy theories are still being brought up about to this day? Princess Diana. Princess Diana driving through that tunnel and never making it out. You know why? Because somebody was hating on Princess Diana. Somebody was jealous of Princess Diana. Somebody was envious of Princess Diana. And somebody pulled the green light on Princess Diana prematurely. Somebody chopped the head off the queen prematurely, my G. And now we still, so listen, homie. I'm trying to give you the game. People die every day, but kings don't get their head chopped off. And what they did to Young Dolph was they decapitated a king. Right in front of our eyes, my G. Chopped his head off right in front of our eyes and expected us to just thought that straight drop and some dusty ass homie in a white Benz did it and not look past the smoke and mirrors. And a lot of people, they didn't look past the smoke and mirrors. A lot of people thought, hey, man, we got, no, it was Grown Man Business TV amongst a lot of other truth tellers that was telling y'all, nah, homie, it get deeper than rap. It's deeper than straight drop. It's deeper than what you see on the TV. It's deeper than what you see on these news platforms. We looking behind the curtain, and it's looking like Yo Gotti, Black Youngster, Big Jook. Yeah. And now the roosters are coming home, homie. Yeah, they coming home. The chickens are coming home to cluck and croak and all of that. And all of that. And all of that. There's no way around it. There's no way around that. That's why I built the channel organically. That's why I don't do all the extra bull. Yeah, I don't do all of that. Because I'm a king when it comes to this. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Kings stand on their own 2 feet. Kings know how to rule when it come to this thing. So I'm one of them. You couldn't, the higher ups and the elites, they shadow ban my channel. That's why a lot of y'all just now getting introduced to Grown Man Business TV. They shadow ban the channel because they understand we can't just put our hands on Grown Man Business TV because people are going to start looking into that. He's a king. We can't just chop the head off of Grown Man Business TV because people are going to start looking into that. He is a king. So we just going to shadow ban his channel. We're going to make sure that we don't put him in the algorithm. We're going to make sure that a lot of people don't get the message. They don't get the message. That's how we'll stall him out. It's the same thing, homie. It's the same thing what they did to young Dolph. They moved prematurely. That wasn't supposed to happen. That's what a lot of people not understanding. That shit wasn't supposed to happen, but it did happen. It went down right in front of our eyes, my G. It happened right in front of our eyes. And now Yo Gotti is paying for it. Now Yo Gotti is in the hot seat. Now Yo Gotti head is on the chopping block. And listen, something's going to happen. We're going to either humiliate you or we're going to take you out. We're going to take you out. Something going to happen to make them stop looking at young Dolph. But I got a feeling. I got a feeling, homie, that regardless on what happens with Yo Gotti, we still gonna be talking about young Dolph. So in the long run, you think they not gonna double back and get Black Youngster? You think they not gonna double back and try to, Young Thug, Yo Gotti? You think they not gonna double back and try to, that Rico, we gonna reopen that and we gonna make sure that we wipe all of y'all out? That might be the only way. That might be the only way that a young Dolph can rest in peace. That might be the only way that a young Dolph not get spoken about, is that we might have to Young Thug you, Yo Gotti. You think they gonna let a Black youngster, as ignorant as Black youngster is, get away with shooting 100 shots out there in North Carolina? You think North Carolina ain't gonna double back? You done crossed state lines, my G. This is federal. You done crossed state lines. You done rented cars, and you shooting in the occupied dwelling. You only come here for the real. See, these dudes, they forget that the higher ups and the elites, they put all of these aces in their back pocket. So when it's time and it gotta be done, your ass gonna pay. They double back. Oh, they double back. Oh, it's federal, homie. Yeah, you remember when you rented that car? We gonna double back on that. You remember when y'all did what y'all did out there in North Carolina? We gonna double back. And I got a feeling that that's the only way. So this humiliation ritual might be top tier, my G. It might get deeper than rap. It might be deeper than address. It might be deeper than X, Y, and Z. That Rico thing they like to do, Young Thug and them, YSL and them. Whew. Whew. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. It's always deeper than rap. It's always deeper than rap. So these dudes, they get up here, they talk about a sacrifice, and it's too easy, homie. That's the easy way out. Yo Gotti sacrificed his big brother is the easy way out. And even if, that was an inkling of a thought, that shit ain't even strong enough. Look how people are still talking. We don't even, I'm going through my timeline. I'm strolling through social media, YouTube, content creators, And I'm looking at the utter disrespect that everybody has for Big Jook. It's utter disrespect. Nobody is up here saying, yo, why did this happen? I mean, it's the utmost disrespect that I've been seeing on social media for Big Jook. It's almost like people are happy he got his head knocked off like that. It's almost, listen, man, the energy is that people are happy that he got his head knocked off like that. So even if he was a sacrifice, that ain't enough, my G. You gonna take his shit. You gonna have to do better than that. You gotta do better than that. They got Yo Gotti shaking in his boots right now because one thing for sure, two things for certain, Yo Gotti know what's coming. Yo Gotti know, like, God damn, how do we let this happen? Yeah, they still been talking about young Dolph, but you know, me and Angela Simmons, we've been posting on Instagram, we've been doing our thing. I felt like we was making progress. I felt like the people was, you know, we was winning the people over a little bit. How the hell did we let this happen? Now they talking about Dolph again. They don't care about me and my Angela Simmons and a couple of them that we got. They talking about young Dolph again. That wasn't a big enough body, my G. That shit ain't gonna fill the casket. That ain't gonna fill the bill, homie. They literally signed the check that they ass can't cover. I'm from the South, man. You ever heard that before? You ever heard your mama say a hard head make a soft ass? You ever heard somebody say, don't cash a check that your ass can't cover? Young Dolph was a check that they ass can't cover, homie. Yo, as big as Big Jook was, he wasn't a big enough body. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. So if you ask me, I feel like something is coming. This is gonna make national news. It's looking like, yeah, the federals, yeah, the feds is gonna have to get involved when they dropping bodies at the repath like that. When they dropping bodies after the funeral like that. Listen, when security ain't enough. Big Jook had security. He had somebody with him that was strapped up. He had somebody with him that was supposed to hold him down, and they gunned him down too. They they gunned him down too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's when the feds look again. The humiliation ritual. It's coming. A crazy year. All year, all 2024 is gonna be just like that. And that's why I tell you, feel the energy. Don't deny yourself, homie. Just slow down, relax yourself for 2 seconds, and just intake the energy of 2024. And take the energy of a Kobe year. This is Kobe. Remember how intense Kobe Bryant was? On and off the basketball court, Kobe Bryant was extra intense all the time. So when we call this a Kobe year, when I tell you 24 is the year of Kobe Bryant, 24 is a Kobe year, think about how intense this year is going to be. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to fall to the wayside. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to become, you know, wealthy. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to get blessed. This year is powerful, my G. You either going to fall to the wayside or you're going to embrace this energy and use it to your advantage. Use this shit to your advantage. The laws of attraction, the laws of the universe, I mean, it's at an all-time high right now. Ask for what you want and be careful what you ask for. Yeah, be careful what you ask for. But when you a Yo Gotti and you done did things, man, listen, think about how great young Dolph would have been this year. Would it be in the Kobe year? Think about how great. Think about the heights that a young Dolph would have took it to, fulfilling his purpose in his Kobe year. Now think about Yo Gotti being the reason that a young Dolph ain't here, and think about how much he's going to pay for a young Dolph being assassinated, for even having his hand in the pot, for even having an inkling of a thought that he got something to do with it. It just is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, my G. It just is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. And, you know, just even applying it to myself, You know, I did a live a few nights ago where the you know, the energy was just talking to me. The universe was just talking to me, and I could hear it loud and clear in my head saying, "No hate towards no content creators. We not sending no hate towards no. Even if I don't agree with your content, even if I don't agree with what you're saying, if I don't agree with your message, if I don't agree with your ideology, no hate, no back and forth. I'm only sending love your way. Now listen, sometime I'ma send tough love your way. It's gonna be tough love, so you still might not like what I'm saying, but it ain't gonna be that this year. I don't want to waste the inkling of a thought. I don't want to waste the inkling of my energy on that type of content, because this year is the year. Get everything you're supposed to get out of 2024, so when 2025 come in, you can be a little more comfortable, because it's only going up. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to tell you, it's not just 2024. It's going to continue. It's a lot of shit that's supposed to happen between now and 2030. This why they shadow ban my channel, homie. This why they shadow ban my channel, because I'm gonna go in and out, but it's all gonna be free game, and it's all gonna bring truth to power. I'm shining light on the higher ups and the elites. And if you don't know, between now and 2030, them people got until 2030 to implement whatever they gonna implement. And if they don't do it by 2030, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, my G. But a lot of y'all don't even know that. A lot of y'all don't understand that, you know, between now and 2030, I mean, they've been plotting and scheming all the way since the 2000s, but they already knew. The closer we get now, it's 2024. This is a dragon year. This is a powerful year, homie. This is a Kobe year. They got to implement whatever they going to implement between now and 2030, and we only getting smarter. We only becoming more woke. The truth is only being exposed more and more. So the more we know, the more truth telling we do, the more we can see clearly with that third eye. The more truth, the more harder it is for them to implement that BS they've been trying to put on us, that they only have to 2030. Ooh, yeah, yeah, homie. Yeah, back in the day, they had newspapers. They could just put whatever they wanted in the newspaper, and they could put it out to the public and stir everybody would follow the narrative of the newspaper. But now we got all of these news outlets. We got all of this social media. We got all of these platforms. On top of that, we got all of these truth tellers talking. Just talking, B. Putting the truth out there for free. For free. So that it don't even matter, right? You know, CNN, Fox News, you know, DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God playing butt tag every morning on the Breakfast Club don't stand a chance against Grown Man Business TV, against a grown man. See, y'all been, again, it's a lot of saucy Santanas around. It's a lot of drag queens around. It's a lot of transmissions being put out there. So that grown men business, grown men speaking on grown men, it's few far in between. It's few far in between. So they try. Listen, we got to get rid of that. But what they don't understand, this is one thing that even the higher ups and the elites don't understand, is that every stone will be overturned. The meek will inherit the earth. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It's nothing they could do. The sun is only getting hotter. Yeah. Ask Big Jook. The sun is only getting hotter, my G. It's only, it's nothing they could do. The earth is in control of itself. The higher ups and the elites are so arrogant to think that they got some control over this planet, some control over this earth, some control over the energy. The meek will inherit the earth. The shit has been written already. There's no way around it. So it don't matter how many doomsday bunkers that you build. It don't matter how many $270 million underground doomsday bunkers that you build. Even that stone will be overturned. There's no running from this. And again, this is the reason why, you know, This channel, it's hard for a lot of y'all to be introduced to this channel. They rather lead y'all to DJ Vlad. They rather lead y'all to, Al Capone and they rather lead y'all to a DJ Academics. They rather lead y'all to those platforms before they lead y'all. Because when I look at my analytics, the majority of the people that watch my channel watch those podcasts as well. They watch Zip with the Drip. They watch DJ Vlad. They watch all of these other platforms, and they watch my platform. But they're going to lead you to the algorithm that's going to put you in their face first. Because they're not going to tell you that those people only got 6 more years to rule. They ain't going to tell you what's right there on the horizon that's coming right in. Yeah, it is what it is. So 2004, this shit is going to be nonstop, my G. Listen, the distractions, the humiliation rituals, the sacrifices, it's going to be non-stop because they got to keep us looking that way. Yeah. I just did a live stream about the aliens out there in Miami. See, we just rolling right now. Yeah, Adam 22. Yeah, all of those guys that get thrown into the algorithm before Grown Man Business TV. But regardless, we still gonna hit 20,000 subscribers. We're about to be over. Trust me, it's coming, my G. I'm doing it with my eyes closed because the truth is the truth. But I just told y'all about the aliens out there in Miami. You understand what I'm saying? It go from aliens in Miami to Big Jook getting his head blown off. I mean, the distractions are gonna come left and right, non-stop this year. So you telling me that the aliens came to the mall, they came to a shopping mall in Miami and they walked amongst the humans, 15-foot aliens. And these aliens, they were obviously looking for the Gucci store, or they were looking for the Rolex store, or they was looking for the Amiri store. These aliens must have wanted a universal Rolex with the universe time dial because they needed something from this mall. And everybody saw these aliens at the mall, but we have not one video. We have not one picture. We have not one piece of evidence. All we know is we saw 10,000 police officers at the mall, and they said that there were aliens amongst us. And then the very next day, they packed 60,000 people inside the Miami Dolphin Stadium, and they have a championship game. So the aliens didn't stop y'all from having an NFL game. The aliens didn't stop y'all from filling up that stadium, even though aliens were supposedly amongst us. And then, hey, why are we sending the police at the aliens? The aliens didn't shoot one shot at us. They didn't attack us. They didn't shoot a missile. They didn't start a fire. They didn't do a drive-by. The aliens didn't cause us any harm, but we want to shoot the aliens down. Distractions all 2024. So the aliens, they were aliens in Miami. Now nobody talks about the aliens. There's nobody on social media talking about the aliens. There are no news rails anymore about these aliens that was. Now, mind you, the aliens was just here last week. That was last week, my G, that the aliens were in Miami. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. I say that all the time because it is the point. It's right there in front of your face. We don't need no riddles. We don't need no metaphors. We don't want you to put it in your raps. We don't want you to put it in riddles. We don't want to have to break down your lines and your bars. We want this shit straight raw. I like my tequila straight, no ice, no chaser. It can be warm. I want it right out the bottle. I don't want anything extra. Like I said in that live stream, why aren't we accepting the aliens? Why, when the aliens come to the mall and they looking for the Rolex store, why don't we walk them to the Rolex store? Why do we want to fight the aliens? Why do the higher ups and the elites send out airplanes and helicopters and police officers when the aliens wanna just get their Amiri genes? Why don't we ask the aliens some questions? Why don't we sit down and have a reasonable conversation with the aliens? You know why? Because that shit is a lie. It's a distraction. Oh, we got election coming up. There's an election coming up. Oh, it get deep. It's so deep that I can't ever give it to y'all in one live stream. It's deeper than rap. It's so much deeper than rap. We got an election coming up. They're trying to convince you guys that the dollar bill is crashing, but somehow, some way, we're still sending billions of dollars to the Ukraine. We're still sending billions of the American dollar to Palestine. And even though the American dollar is supposed to be crashing, they're still accepting the American dollar. Oh, it's crashing. But they accepted billions and billions and billions of this dollar bill that's no longer good. The lies, the smoke and mirrors, my G. See, you know, the higher ups and the elites, they use the entertainers as pawns. These entertainers are pawns on the chessboards of life. And every now and then, you know, like a young Dolph, the entertainer might be a rook. He might be a knight. He might even be a king. He's not a pawn. Every now and then, one of these entertainers a different piece on the chessboard. Imagine a pawn taking out your king. Imagine the disarray on the chessboard of life when you got a pawn that somehow this pawn somehow took out your queen, took out your king. Imagine, you know, if you play chess, imagine how confused your opponent's gonna, damn, how did that happen? Imagine how confused you would be if this pawn took out your king. But see, follow me. But see, while we worried about who took out the king and who took out the pawn, we not asking who actually built the chessboard. Not only who built the chessboard, but who made the rules of engagement on the chessboard. Who actually thought of the chessboard and said, this is what we need. It's a game called chess. It's going to be a knight. It's going to be a rook. It's going to be a queen. We're going to let all of them play a part. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. Like, who actually came up, who actually put a finger on the matrix, my G? On the chessboard of life. Those are the people. Those are the ones. Those are the beings that I'm speaking of when I say they only got to 2030. Those are the beings. Those are the people that I'm speaking about. That anytime a so-called alien approaches Earth, they crash the spaceship. They take the aliens. They steal the technology. They tell you to be scared of the aliens when the aliens up to this date have never waged war on our people. I'm gonna tell you something. If the aliens ever do come, they're gonna walk amongst us and they're gonna start wiping them out. They're gonna look at us and say, y'all don't know who those pale people are? You know, the ones that's dog fur. You know, the ones their hair, the dog fur is sheds everywhere. They smell like, you know, Sassoon and Newport 100s. You know the people that I'm talking about, right? They smell like Sassoon and Newport 100s. Y'all don't know who they are. Y'all ain't started to wipe them out yet. They done poison the water. They done poison the ocean. They done poison the air. They done poison the food. They done poison the land. Y'all ain't went to war with them yet? Why you think every time we come to Earth, they try and shoot us down? Every time we come to Earth, they want to wage war. Every time we come to Earth, it's an issue. Because we know who they are. Y'all don't know who they are. Or y'all act like y'all don't know who they are. They built the chessboard. They the ones that built the pieces. They the ones that named the pieces. They the ones that made the rules. So young Dolph was just powerful enough, especially for me. You know, he was powerful enough for me that his death, his assassination was a tool that helped ignite this grown man business TV situation. Those videos, once I did those, listen to me. I'm gonna leave y'all with this because we well over. Listen, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I made this platform because when Nipsey Hussle lost his life, I didn't have a way to express how I felt. I felt a lot. That energy was so powerful to me that, even my wife, everybody around me knew that shit affected me. Like, I just couldn't believe that happened to him, right? So I made this platform well after that. And then young Dolph was assassinated. And those videos did 90. I mean, I would drop a video, that shit'd do 90,000 views, 120,000 views, 200,000 views, I did a 250,000 views in one day. In one day, I did a 250,000 views on one video talking about the higher ups and the elites and talking about young Dolph. But the higher ups and the elites thought that, they could lure me to the door. So they figured, give him, put him in an algorithm. Let's see what he do. They put me in an algorithm and my numbers was astronomical. My numbers was out of this world. But I wasn't willing to walk through the door. I wasn't willing to start lying to the people. I wasn't willing to dumb down the information. I wasn't willing to bite my tongue for the higher ups and the elites. And once they realized that, once they realized that I was as powerful as I was as intelligent, I was smart enough, I have the knowledge, I have the game, I know what I'm talking about. Once they realized that, I got all of these tools in my tool belt, but I'm not willing to walk through the door of the higher ups and the elites. They shadow ban my channel. They shadow ban my channel. After that little episode, right? I never did 100,000 views again. I never had 2,000 people in my live stream again. I never had the same, my numbers only declined to a certain extent to where I had to build the channel organically. I had to build the channel without, pleasing the higher ups and the elites, without them looking at my content and thinking we can use him. They look at my content and they say, we can't use this guy. We actually got to dumb him down. We gotta shadow ban his channel because he's not smoking weed. He's not talking about killing black people. He's not talking about the destruction of the community. He's actually exposing us for all of those things. And listen, man, listen, it hasn't been the same ever since. But because I don't care about the numbers, because I don't do this for the YouTube check, I only come here to bring the real. I only carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. And as long as it's like that, that's all that matters to me. I'm here to expose what young Dolph really was. He wasn't just a dumb black rapper that smoked weed all day. He was a king, my G. He was a full-blown king. And he ruled in his area. He ruled an empire. He was a king, my G. He was the reincarnation of one of our ancestors that was powerful, was a king. And because they knew who he was, they allowed him to be assassinated and then tried to paint the narrative of what I'm here again. I don't get 400 people in a live chat like Lil Zippy no more because I never walked through the door. I never became a puppet. I never became a tool. Yeah, the higher ups and the elites run this platform. You think you doing something on this platform. You think you got some motion. That's because the higher ups and the elites done already combed through your content and they saying to themselves, oh, this dude is a puppet. We're going to use him to lead more black people to the jail cell. We're going to use him to glorify jail. We're going to use him to glorify death. We're going to use him to glorify poverty. Yeah. So now you got 20. Yeah, now you're subscribed. Yeah, now you got motion. I'm this is a whole different playing field over here, my G. Because again, I understand they only got the two. Yeah, they better get everything done before 2030. Yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Yeah. Speaking on that, well put, my G. CMG is cursed. See, again, you ain't gonna hear nobody talking like this. It ain't nobody on this platform that has said these words. I'm here to tell you, this shit is not scripted. I don't write this down. The universe, yeah, I hear the voices that tell me what to say. CMG and Yo Gotti is cursed. They was already treading on thin ice. You understand what I'm saying? And when they took out young Dolph, he cursed his whole situation, which is why everything is gonna happen how it's gonna happen. You think the feds ain't saying the same thing? The higher ups and the elites, one of their most strongest and powerful weapons is the feds. Because you heard what Biggie said, I fear no man, I fear nobody but the feds. All of these gangster rappers, all of these young thugs, all of these super tough street guys are scared of them alphabet boys. They are scared of the feds. You think the higher ups and the elites are not contemplating wiping out CMG? Yeah, y'all got rid of young Dolph, but the streets is still on fire. Y'all can't even get out of this shit. This dude, Dolph, we assassinated him years ago, and we cannot calm this shit down. We might have to get rid of the whole CMG. We get rid of the CMG, we ain't really worried about PRE. They doing what they do. You think that, listen, the fact that you said that, you think that the feds ain't already wrote that on the dry board? Yeah, they already wrote that shit down. They trying to contemplate now, what's the best move? Yeah, Jay-Z got his hands in CMG. The money that's going to be made from the streaming, the money that's going to be made from whatever comes, the merch, whatever comes from CMG, Jay-Z got his hands in. So the higher ups and the elites got their hands in. They don't really need Yo Gotti no more. What do they, ask yourself what they need Yo Gotti for. No young rappers is following Yo Gotti. No young rappers is praising Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti is an old rapper with a wife now, with Angela Simmons. You know, he's not one of the ones. He's not an influence anymore. Yeah, we got Glorilla, we got Moneybag Yo, but Jay-Z got his hands in all of that. Moneybag Yo, Glorilla, ETSG, or whatever, they can all still be profitable. With Jay-Z got his hands in the pot, and Jay-Z owning parts of a CMG. Yo Gotti is not an influence. Yo Gotti is going to be a sacrifice. Yo Gotti is going to be an example. They're going to, yeah, Yo Gotti is going to be used to calm this whole situation down. Because as long as Yo Gotti is still moving around freely, as long as Yo Gotti is still trying to make something happen, people are going to fall left and right. Pow, pow, pow. If it's his mama, if it's his brother, whoever it is what it is. And it'll be what it's going to be. So yeah, when you get into these comment sections, when you start thinking to yourself and you start saying out loud, man, Memphis need to be purified. The whole CMG gotta fall. Once we say it, you gotta understand something. Good game, my G. But I always let you know. Listen, you heard this here first. But even when I say it, you gotta know if I said it, the higher ups and the elites probably said it 3 months ago amongst themselves, amongst that round table meeting. What we gonna do about Yo Gotti, my G? And they start plotting and scheming, and they start making decisions, and they start saying, listen, this ain't gonna work. The people ain't gonna believe Yo Gotti in a dress. If we put Yo Gotti in a dress, the people ain't gonna believe that shit. Okay, we gotta do, okay, can we do this? Okay, can we do that? And Yo Gotti ain't in a position to make no real sacrifices right now because his brother damn sure want no sacrifice. And Glorilla, Moneybag Yo, any assets up under CMG, Jay-Z got his hands in. So you ain't even in a position to sacrifice your own artists. So you thought Jay-Z bought part of CMG because he just rocks with Yo Gotti like that. Oh, Jay-Z, he owns part of CMG because him and Yo Gotti is just best friends like that. Nah, my G. We gonna take half of that. We gonna put that in Jay-Z hand. The people will believe that. And when it's time for it all to crumble, we're gonna take the streams. We're gonna take the profits from CMG. Y'all did y'all part. Y'all got rid of young Dolph. Now y'all not making no imprint no more. Y'all ain't doing nothing in these streets. We ain't listening and looking out for Glorilla. There ain't nobody worried about Glorilla. Jay-Z is, listen, Jay-Z, Jehovah, Sean Carter is their greatest puppet. He is their greatest puppet. When they got Jay-Z to let Dame Dash go, when they got Jay-Z to try to humiliate Dame Dash, that's when they knew they had Jay-Z in the pocket. And they know that we, the people, right? The urban community, the hip-hop community, the majority of us believe so much in Jay-Z that anything that he do, we look at it as a win for us. But it's becoming very obvious. Well, it's always been obvious to me, but it's becoming very obvious to the people. You understand that Jay-Z don't care, just like the homie said in the chat. Jay-Z don't care. When he make moves, it's only to benefit him and then benefit the higher-ups and the elites. Do you need an example of that? You want Grown Man Business to give you a prime example of that? Ooh, let's talk about it, okay? The NFL was having a problem with Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, if you like Colin or not, he was raising hell. He had the NFL and he had Nike on their heels. Oh, you wouldn't believe how much money the NFL was losing. You wouldn't believe how Nike, how they stock dropped. I'm talking that shit. They was losing billions of dollars. What they do? They got Jay-Z to step up. They got Jay-Z to come in, calm the urban community down, convince the urban community to start buying Nikes again and let them know we're not going to keep kneeling. We're going to move forward. Now, how did that benefit Jay-Z? Jay-Z was able to get in the good graces of the higher-ups and the elites. There are a very small percentage of NFL team. There's no black person that owns an NFL team. Now, you got black people that are partial owners like Serena Williams and Venus Williams and the Miami Dolphins, but there is not one black person that is the head owner of an NFL team. But what Jay-Z did is he put himself in position. He put himself, his wife, his Carter family in position to be the first black NFL team owner. Okay? Now, what did he do? How does that benefit the higher-ups and the elites? Well, shit, if Jay-Z tell us to stop drinking Cristal, we stop drinking Cristal. If Jay-Z tell us to take the throwbacks off and put the button-up shirts on, we take the throwbacks off and we put the button-up shirts on. If Jay-Z say we moving forward, you can now watch the NFL again. You can now wear Nikes again. Their stocks and their billions go right back to normal. So to apply that to what I'm talking about, to apply that to the topic, you think that Jay-Z bought part of CMG or bought the whole or got his hands in CMG pot because he rocked with, no, he don't rock with Dolph. He didn't even rock with Dame Dash. And then you got dudes like Yo Gotti thinking that Jay-Z is their best friend. You got dudes like Yo Gotti nut-hugging Jay-Z so much that Jay-Z did that because, listen, your downfall is coming. Oh, the fall of an empire is coming, Gotti. And before we let you fall, we're going to put our hands in a pot. So when the stream come in, when the profit, when the merch, when all of that shit starts coming in, we got that. But we going to wipe you out. Oh, we gonna wipe you out, Gotti. We don't care. You did enough. You and matter of fact, you ain't did enough. You tried, but you ain't did enough because somehow we still talking about young Dolph. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Listen, when Lear Cohen told Jay-Z, you really want to split these profits with your homies? When Jay-Z said nah, and then he got rid of Biggs and Dame, that's when the little hat people, that's when the higher ups in the elite said, yeah, we got one. Oh, we got one. He was willing to cut out the very dudes that got him a record deal, the very dudes that helped him build Rockefeller Records, the very dudes that made him Jay-Z because nobody wanted to sign Jay-Z. It took Dame and Biggs to put their heads together and everybody say, well, yeah, he willing to cut them out for a check. He willing to cut them out for an image, the businessman image. Oh, we got one. Oh, we got one. And we got the best one. We're going to use him. We're going to prop him up. Oh, Jay-Z's a smart guy now. Don't ever get it confused. Look at Puff Daddy and look at Jay-Z. What does Puff Daddy not have that Jay-Z does have? I'm gonna let y'all answer that. What does Jay-Z have that Puff Daddy don't have? Jay-Z's a smart man. Oh, he's a smart man. I'm gonna give y'all a second. What does Jay-Z have that Puff Daddy doesn't have? And listen, the game is so good to give up the truth, my G. It's so refreshing that I get to give up the truth and I ain't never bowed down to the higher ups and the elites. What does Jay-Z have that Puffy don't have? And what does Jay-Z have that Yo Gotti is trying to create? The image that Yo Gotti, I tell you, Jay-Z has Beyonce and he married Beyonce and he got with Beyonce at a young age and he groomed her up. He groomed her up to be the lady that she is today, to know how to fall in line. What does Puffy don't got a Beyonce? Puffy got a goddamn, what's her name? Carisha Please. He got a Young Miami. He got a young Black Thought. Drinking, yeah, she drinking cum at any moment. She a cum bucket. She like to get pissed on. He got a young Black Thought. He don't got a wife. He don't got a family. He don't got a family unit. He got miscellaneous kids with a whole bunch of different. See, that's what Jay-Z got that Puffy don't got. So Puffy could never own a football team. Puffy doesn't have the right image to be on that level with Jay-Z. And look at Yo Gotti with Angela Simmons. You thought that was just because he made the song Getting Down in the DM? You thought, okay. You thought that Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti was because he put Angela Simmons in the name of his song and said he wanted to get down in the DM. It goes down, it goes down. Yeah, you thought, okay, sheep. The sheep thought that. No, he's trying to create an image. He's trying to soften his image. He's trying to use the same blueprint as Jay-Z. But listen, you didn't do it like Jay-Z, homie. You are disposable, Yo Gotti. Them people don't rock with you like that, homie. You in hot water right now. Oh, you thought that we looked at Angela Simmons like Beyonce. Nah, we can see through that. Yeah, we can see through that. Jay-Z, he chose to be up under the higher ups and the elites. And then what he did was he soaked up all the game, my G, of the higher ups and elites. He learned and he was sure. He learned how to jump on your song. Take your song like it's his and have a hit. He learned how to take all your publishing. He learned how to rob all his artists. He learned how to rob his own homies. He learned all of this. And one thing for sure, two things for certain. Billionaires, they always got a wife on their arm. The higher ups and the elites, do you ever notice that? They get married, they'll get a divorce and they'll get married again. They'll get a divorce and they'll get married again. They'll get a divorce and they'll get married again. Because that's a part of the uniform. Oh, y'all didn't. Listen, man. It is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be. Jay-Z, he's the one artist that fell up under the higher ups and the elites. Took all of the game, and I'm talking about applied it in real time, applied it to his reality perfectly, perfectly. So it's a reason why Diddy's going through his humiliation ritual and Jay-Z skipped over his. Jay-Z is he's in good graces with the higher ups and the elites. They not gonna touch him no time soon, my G. No time soon, because again, so Gotti, and I say all that to tie into Gotti. We see through the Angela Simmons image, my G. We see through all of that. We don't believe you. We don't believe you. You need more people. And you cannot wipe a king. You can't sweep a king like young Dolph under the rug. There is it's no way. There's no way. So now it's on you, my G. Your head's on the chopping block. We all looking at Gotti. Yeah, Gotti, everybody's looking at you. Your brother got his head knocked off, and even that ain't a big enough body. That ain't a big enough body to cover up a king like young Dolph. So now what? The humiliation ritual. Now what? Yeah, you, you are the set. Don't you worry about CMG. We got that under control. Jay-Z got his hand in the pot. And everybody loves Jay-Z. Moneybag Yo, everybody loves Jehovah. So don't you worry about that. We got that under control. That's still gonna generate money in this matrix. You ain't gotta worry about that. We trying to figure out what we gonna do with you, Yo Gotti. We need to figure that out. You got some time, but you ain't got all, yeah, 2024 is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. Salute to everybody that's in the chat, man. You know, when the truth is being spoken, when the real is being heard, you know, the people are gonna come. The people are gonna come, but I told y'all, I already understand how this game go. I already understand that the higher ups and the elites have shadow banned the channel. Hold on, guys. But this is Grown Man Business TV. Let me handle something real quick. I'm not the guy sitting on the couch at your mama's house. You already know how we giving it up. Backyard is a Mac. Let me unlock this door real quick. Oh, okay, I'm about to say the pool people. Pool people ain't coming today. Feel me? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me chop it. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Yeah, man. This is Grown Man Business. Salute to everybody that's in the live stream. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the real. Make sure you subscribe to the real. Make sure you subscribe to the truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the whole like and subscribe, but you know, being as though this is Grown Man Business. We preaching family. We preaching truth. We preaching property. We preaching everything outside of the streets. I suggest that you do, you know, subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Feel what I'm saying? Had to open the back door for the pool guy. He's gonna come and clean the pool. The pool's clean. That water's good. That's like that resort shit right there. But you know, gotta make sure that the door's open for him. Salute. Yeah, man, I had to get chopped up. You know, my barber. I salute to JoJo. He said he want to cut it up. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we good, baby. We all right. You know what I'm saying? Salute. You know what I mean? If you in the live chat and you ain't a part of the family, if you haven't become an investor, and this is what you got to understand, right? I don't like to call you guys subscribers. You know, anybody that's in tune with the channel understand that when you hit that subscribe button over here at Grown Man Business TV, you become an investor. What do you mean by that, Grown Man Business TV? What do you mean by an investor? Well, time and energy is the highest forms of currency. We not asking for, you know, cash apps. We not asking for super chats over here. We all right. You know what I'm saying? You already see the you know, how we living over here at Grown Man Business TV. You know what I'm saying? We this ain't, yeah, we ain't at grandmama house. We ain't doing it like that. We promoting young men grown men that speak with their chests out, stand up with their back straight, and give it up. That's what we promote over here. You understand what I'm saying? Grown man business at all times. And time and energy is the highest forms of currency. Time and energy is the highest forms of currency. So everybody that been in the live chat for the whole 129 minutes we've been in this live chat, everybody that taps into the videos and the shorts and all of that, everybody that subscribes to the channel becomes investors, because more than money, more than currency, you understand? Your time and your energy being invested in the channel is what matters. That's what I look forward to. That you could be anywhere in the world. You could be anywhere in the world giving your time and some of your energy and your attention, but you here with me. Salute, salute. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. So again, to bring this to a whole, to wrap this thing up, to have everybody understand where we at with it, that was not a sacrifice. Far from a sacrifice, my G. That was casualty of war. A casualty of war. And see, it gets so deep that I could go even deeper. The rabbit hole is so deep that I could go even deeper, my G. I could really keep going with this. I could take this shit another hour, but I'm not going to do that. Because again, we're going to double back and we're going to go live tonight. Salute, salute, salute. Alabama, what it do? Make sure you tap into the channel, man. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you become an investor. So when you do see the notification, you might get the notification late. You might get it after it's over, because they shadow ban this kind of information. And mind you, I articulate myself a certain way, so I don't do a lot of cussing. I don't do a lot of this and that. I articulate myself in a certain manner. That's another thing that they hate. They hate the fact that I'm not up here, Dolph, F through the, talking like that. They hate the fact that I give it to you straight, very clear. Very clear. It attracts a different type of audience. The street dudes, any man, any grown man that's not on his saucy Santana, any grown man that's got his feet to the ground. You understand what I'm saying? The women in his family respect him. The children in his family respect him. Everybody understand that that's a grown man. They hear this, when they hear this voice, when they hear this message, they automatically are attracted to it. So they have to shadow ban the channel. So when you subscribe, you might get the notification. If you don't get the notification, you might just be scrolling through your live stream and you'll see that Grown Man Business TV is live, and you'll tap into that. Because it's either live streams or it's shorts. I do the shorts and I do the live streams. I don't really do too much pre-recordings no more, because I like direct to consumer. I like direct to consumer. I like to talk directly to the people. If I'm going to talk to you, it's going to be in real time. And if you want to double back, then you can double back. But it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. It's always deeper than rap. Right now, you got a Yo Gotti shaking in his boots. Yo Gotti is not in a good place right now. That's why you ain't heard him say nothing. You ain't heard no message. You ain't seen no tweet. You ain't seen nothing from him. And not just about his brother losing his life, but because it's deeper than rap. And he's scared now. He's saying, man, this shit done went left real fast, my G. And they still talking about this goddamn young Dolph, man. They still associating everything I do. They still, my brother lose his life and they bringing up young Dolph. This man, yeah, it's like a plague. It's like a curse of your life, G. It's like a plague. It's like a curse. You can't get around it. You can't shake it. So Yo Gotti, he hasn't said nothing. He's not going to say nothing. He's choosing his words very, very clearly. He's choosing his words precisely right now. He's choosing his words. You understand what I'm saying? He has to sit. He has to think. When he speaks to the people, he has to make sure this shit is right. And even, it don't matter what he say. The narrative, we've already painted it. We've already painted it, my G. Salute from L.A. Big salute. I've been on Crenshaw and Slauson. I done walked up to I've been all through L.A. I love L.A. Salute to the West Coast. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, right? The smart, I ain't gonna say, it wouldn't be wrong for him to crash out right now. He just lost his brother. Crash out. Crash out. I'm talking about really crash out. That'll take a lot of attention off of young Dolph and it'll put it all on you because either you gonna crash out. Either you gonna crash out like all the gangster stuff you say in your songs, or the higher ups and the elites is gonna crash you out. You gonna crash out either way it go. You crashing out. It gotta be something spectacular. It gotta be something on the highest level for us to be like, God damn. All right, what's going on with young Yo Gotti? You heard what happened with Yo Gotti? We ain't even talking about Dolph, right? We talking about Gotti. Because you gonna crash out, or the higher ups and the elites is gonna crash you out. And they got multiple different ways that they'll crash you out, my G. Yeah, it can be physical. It could be physical. Or it could be humiliation ritual where they get you with a sexual assault. They get some young girls from Memphis to pop. You know how the game go. You know how they do you. They'll crash you out. Oh yeah, they'll crash you out, homie. It's multiple different ways. You know what I'm saying? A tranny pop up and say she used to deal with Yo Gotti and now we got pictures. You know, a little girl, 14, 15, say she was dealing with Yo Gotti and now we got pictures. Oh, they'll crash you out. And even still, what I'm trying to tell the people is, no matter what you do, that's why I say Yo Gotti's cursed for the next 100 years. He's cursed. Because no matter what you do, no matter how big you crash out, no matter what you do, you understand? We're going to talk about Dolph. We're going to associate you with Dolph. We're going to associate your life with the death of young Dolph. So when you chop the head off a king, you got to pay with your life, homie. And that's why, again, real kings won't let that happen. A real king would have been like, yo, he in the city, don't touch him. If I found out you touched him, your mom, everybody getting wiped out because it ain't gonna pan out if y'all just get rid of him. You think if we couldn't just get rid of him, we wouldn't have just got rid of young Dolph a long time ago if it was just that easy? The problem is you ain't a king, so you don't think like one. You a knight. You a soldier. So you think everything need to be soldiered out. And sometimes it ain't about soldiering it out. He a king, I'm a king. You can't just get rid of him. And since y'all did that, you have to pay with your life. Or and if you go to jail for 100 years, then that's paying with your life. But if you get around jail, if you don't get knocked off and you live, then you're cursed for 100 years. You are cursed. The wildest shit is gonna happen to you. You're gonna always be paying for what you did to that king. It just is what it is, B. That's how the game works. That's how the universal law works. You're going to always be paying for what you did to that king. But listen, if people could just kill people because of this, if that was just the case, then everybody would be doing it. Why do you think everybody don't just go and shoot somebody at the damn grocery store or shoot somebody while they buying cookies for their mama? Why do you think that don't happen like that? Because you're going to pay for it, my G. Just when you thought nobody was looking, it was a camera on the corner right there. It was a camera across the street at that gas station. It was a camera down the street over there at that stoplight. It was a camera in that car wash that saw you. You don't get away with shit that easy. So Yo Gotti is cursed for life. Dolph is dead. He's never coming back. And because of that, you are cursed for 100 years. The only way you can pay for this is with your life. Just like Big Jook. What you thought was going to happen, Big Jook? You thought you was going to walk off into the sunset? You thought you was going to go to your family funeral and people was going to grieve and cry and feel sorry? No, your life is on the line. You can't even go to a funeral without your life being on the line because you cursed. You cursed. So, again, even if Yo Gotti crashes out, even if he is humiliated, it's going to have to be such a crazy humiliation. And even still, we are going to be like, yo, he got humiliated because what he did to Dolph. And people are going to start posting pictures of Dolph. And people are going to start saying R.I.P. the Flipper. It don't matter what happened. That's why I say you curse. That's why I say you can only pay with your life. Don't, listen, nobody's going to talk about this Dolph thing anymore if something happens to Gotti. If Gotti pays with his life, if Gotti would, let me tell you something. If Gotti would have got laid down instead of Jook, if Gotti would have got laid down with Jook, these guys would be celebrating and saying X, Y, and Z. And after that, the shit would die out. After a year, 6 months, the shit would die out. Gotti's gone now. Dolph been gone. Jook is gone. Now it's nothing to talk about. The big players, the ones at the top of the mountain that pulled the strings to get rid of that king, they're now gone. Now these guys will turn to take off. Now these guys will turn to P&B Rock, where we are no longer talking about it. Yo, you remember the beef between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph? Yeah, well, they both dead now. Now we moving on. Now we moving on. But as long as you are here, reaping the benefits of this universe, reaping the benefits of this earth, as long as you are here walking around with a Angela Simmons and living your life and smiling and posting birthday pictures and enjoying this matrix that we all live in, you will be cursed, my G. You will always have to look over your shoulder. You'll always have to worry about your mama. You'll always have to worry about your nephew. You think them boys won't slide on Yo Gotti nephew when he get older? That's what I mean when I say 100 years. Yo Gotti could have a nephew right now that's 5 years old. And 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that same nephew could be 25 years old in Memphis and somebody will slide on his ass for being a nephew of Yo Gotti because Yo Gotti has cursed himself. He has cursed his family. He has cursed everything around him. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. And again, you know, my channel is shadow banned because I give the truth. I'm not talking down on Yo Gotti. I'm giving you the truth. I'm telling this to tell these young black men out here that, yeah, you looking at the big dope dealer on the corner. You want to be the big dope dealer on the corner. You think taking him out is going to make you that, and that ain't it, homie. Patience is a virtue. Patience is something that come with being a grown man and standing on grown man business. You have to have patience. If Yo Gotti would have had patience in due time, I can guarantee you that him and Young Dolph would have made amends. Just like Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane made amends. In due time, even if it's 20 years from now, you know what? Young Dolph and Yo Gotti would have made so much money. They would have built such a huge empire. They would have had such an impact on Memphis as a whole that I can guarantee you they would have put that shit. They would have been 45 years old. They would have been 50 years old. And they would have did a verses like Jeezy and Gucci, and they would have shook hands and been like, man, that shit wasn't that serious. And they would have been able to talk about it. But because Yo Gotti is impatient and he couldn't wait, he cursed himself. So again, it's deeper than rap. You see, you walking down the street, you and your homies, and you see that 2024 Mercedes-Benz, you know what I'm saying, 680, 580 SLK pull up, Maybach pull up, and you like, damn, I like how he get that? No, I'm the king. I'm the king. How he pull up like that, and I'm the king. And then you think if you kill him, when you kill him, you curse yourself. You'll never get that Maybach. You'll never get that Mercedes-Benz. Whatever money he had in his pocket, whatever money he had in his bank account, you will never get that because you had so much hate. You had so much envy. You were so jealous and you was impatient. Because you know what? God was going to bless you. The universe was going to bless you with that and some. But because you took that man's life, you chopped the head off the king prematurely, you're never going to get that. You're cursed now. Your son might not never get it. And this is what men should be telling these young boys. This is what men should be telling other men. This is grown man business, homie. This is not, let's get to that. This is not the zip squad. This is not that. This is the total opposite. This is the total opposite, homie. This is what it looked like when you step into manhood. This is what it looked like when you step into grown man business. Only grown men have patience. That's a quality that it take a long time to acquire. Patience. You want that 100 million right now, but the universe and God and the creator is saying you're not ready for that just yet. Be patient. Or I'm gonna give you the 100 million. Matter of fact, you got 300 million on your plate, but you gotta be patient. Yo Gotti is a big deal in Memphis. Young Dolph was a big deal in Memphis. It would have been smart for Yo Gotti to sit down, reevaluate his situation, and say, God damn, I see what Dolph is doing, but I'm going to do me. And I'm going to do me, and I'm going to do it big. And he going to do him and let him do it big. And guess what? I can guarantee it, homie. I bet the house on it. It was inevitable. In due time, Yo Gotti and Young Dolph was going to make amends because they both love Memphis. And what would have happened if Yo Gotti and Young Dolph would have came eye to eye as two kings? Listen, you tried to sign Young Dolph. He's a king, homie. He's too big to be your artist. He's too big to be your artist under CMG. You got to let him build his empire and you build your empire. There's never one king. Ever, nigga. Ever. You let him build his empire, you build your empire. And then when y'all get old, that's when y'all, man, listen, man, this is for Memphis, nigga. We did it bigger. We did it bigger than 3-6 Mafia. We did it bigger than Juicy J. We did it bigger than Hustle and Flow. Nigga, this is Memphis. Yo Gotti, CMG, and Young Dolph, PRE. We made a $1 billion empire, nigga. We did that. It's nobody that would have did it bigger than Yo Gotti and Young Dolph. For Memphis, in the next 100 years, there will not be another CMG. There will not be another PRE in Memphis. But instead, instead you adopt the ways of the higher ups and the elites. You adopt the ways of the beast, the animal. You know, the ones that grow that dog fur, wear them big ass hats, you know, the little hats. You know what I'm talking about. You act like them, impatient, and you wipe out a king? So you wipe out a king and you think you're gonna rule in peace. You wipe out a king that the kingdom loves, and you think that the people are gonna respect you and let you rule. Nah, nigga, you cursed. Your whole kingdom, your whole empire has been cursed. Y'all have been cursed, homie. There is no black youngster. There is no CMG. Nigga, that shit is washed up. And when it's time for them to take that, they gonna take that. They gonna take that. The higher ups and the elites are gonna take that and they gonna bust it down. And guess who gonna get a slice of the pie? Oh, Jay-Z, Jehovah, Sean Carter. We know this guy, man. He's gonna get a slice of the pie. They're gonna slide him his slice. You'll never know it. He's gonna buy it. Yeah, he's already worth $2.5 billion. How the hell you think he got worth $2.5 billion? He had to step on a lot of people. He had to prove his way through the ranks of the higher ups and the elites. Yeah, he did that. He did that, homie. So I said what I had to say. I said what I had to say. I put what I had to put out there. That's what this platform is for. That's what this channel is for. It's grown man business TV. Grown men handle business. You're going to go up, you're going to come down. You're going to go up, you're going to come down. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But patience is a virtue. When you losing, it's time to sit down in that shit. Don't run from the feeling. Don't run. Yeah. We need to embrace all the energy, not just the positive energy, not just when you winning, not just when you up. You need to sit down and embrace the energy when you down, when you lose your money, when you down and out. You got to sit down and you got to feel that. And if you sit down and you embrace that feeling, now you can start thinking on how to get back up. Don't just kill homie because he winning and you ain't winning, because your winning season is coming. But if you kill him, you will never have a winning season, nigga. You curse yourself. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. Big salute to everybody that's in the chat. Big salute to everybody that's tapped in. You already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV, right? You can tap in or you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the bricks into the bottles. Straight off the brick into the bottle. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoat nothing and we not dressing nothing up. We giving it to you straight raw. Grown men. Stand on grown man business and give it to them straight raw. Be patient, my G. Your winning season is coming. Just because he pulled up in a Maybach don't mean you need to kill him, because then you'll never get a Maybach. You'll never make a million. You'll never have all of those. You cursed. I mean, you cursed yourself. Yo Gotti is cursed. CMG is cursed. The higher ups and the elites are paying close attention. They're thinking of their next move on how to make that right, because they're going to make that right, my G. Gotti, they're going to make that right. You in a fire right now, yo, Gotti. Your head is on a chopping block. This, trust me, a lot of people don't know it, but I know that you know it, yo, Gotti. And trust me, I know it. You're shaking in your boots right now, homie. Your brother just got his head blown off. Nobody feels sorry for you. This is the prime setup. The stage is set. So listen, man, everybody in the live chat, everybody that's tapped in, if you have not already subscribed to the channel, you be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to subscribe to Grown Man Business. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. I'm the only one talking like this. I'm the only one that ain't afraid to give up the game. I don't care about being shadow banned. I don't care if the higher ups and the elites is watching my channel, going through my content, playing with my numbers. It don't matter to me. I got motion regardless, homie. It don't matter to me. What matters to me is giving up the game. Salute to everybody that's in the DM. Salute to everybody that give good and encouraging words in the DM. Salute to everybody that got questions and want me go into the DM and tell me what you want. Well, yo, ask me my perspective. I'm going to give you it. I'm going to give you it. When I was growing up, grown men saw something happening on the block and they stopped the youngsters and said, hold up, homie, you can't do that around here. That's not honorable. That's what the OGs used to do, and that's what it is a lack of. You got all of these dudes that want to be famous. They want to be celebrities. They want to be YouTube stars, that they don't care about the content they give you. They don't care about the lies that they feed you, as long as they get numbers and they pleasing the higher ups and the elites. But here at Grown Man Business TV, that is not the case. You will understand in due time that when you come here, you get in the real, and it's easy to separate the real from the fake. It's easy to separate us from them, my G. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times. So if you ain't subscribed, make sure you hit that, man. We don't need no cash apps. We don't need no super chats. I don't even care about the like button. If you hit the like button, cool. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. We going over 20,000 this year. We already approaching 17K. We going over 20,000 organically. Organically, without the extra shit. We not pulling no BS. We not playing no games. We taking it straight off the bricks and we putting it in the bottles. No cut, no extras. And yeah, JoJo, man, you want to chop it up, chop it up. But right now, you know what I'm saying, I got to give my barber a big salute. He do his thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. So listen, man, big salute to everybody in the live chat. Hold on, matter of fact, before I let y'all go, let me check something real quick. Big salute to everybody in the live chat, man. Big salute to everybody that's tuned in, locked into the channel. supposed to be here, but I don't see. I just wanted to make sure this pool guy was coming. Well, you already know how we give it up, baby. This is a different playing field over here. This is not the couch. This is not. We not doing that. We not doing that. Grown men stand on grown man business. Should have. I guess he's gonna come tomorrow. I'm gonna leave the door open for him anyway. Hold on, God. I'm gonna leave the door open for him anyway. You already know what time it is. You already know what time it is, man. This shit is crazy. It's one of my favorite joints. Yeah, that joints. That's like my favorite joint. You know what I'm saying? I always let y'all know. Word to Nip. Feel what I'm saying? Word to Nip. You got grown man business on the wall too. You got grown man business on the wall as well. But it's always word to Nip. It's always gonna be word to Nip. Feel me? Always. Appreciate that. Be sure to lock into the channel. All year we consistently giving up great content. We're gonna be consistently giving up the truth all year long. All year. No, not non-stop. The content is not gonna stop. The message is not gonna stop at all times. This is another one of my favorite joints right here too. Yeah, he got that Draco. He got that Draco in his hand. Got that Draco in his hand, you feel me? Yeah. Yeah, he's shooting something. He's shooting something. Yeah, that's how they kill. And they run up on you, goddamn, that's how they run up on you. When they run up on you, that's how they coming. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. So, yeah, we cutting the crib one right now. We about to turn everything up. You already know. We got the games going, baby. You already know we got the Pac-Man joint coming. You already know we got the NBA jams coming. You know what I'm saying? Grown man business. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, man. Straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight off the bricks into the bottles at all times. So listen, man. Give me an hour or two. Give me a clean hour or two. Maybe about like 9 o'clock. I'm gonna double back. So subscribe to the channel so you can get the notification. We're gonna double back and we're gonna go back in tonight. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Gang.